promising year. It seemed like one that could result in the division championship, but unfortunately, back to the same old, same old. As long as they get your money walking through the door at Wrigley Field, they couldn't give a rip about what happens when they walk out. And that's just the facts, Jack.
Dang.
Tired of this crap.
Mic drop.
Enough's enough.
Get him.
Hour 3 next.
Get him.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world, but one thing's for sure, you need a PC you can rely on. Whether it's for school, gaming, or whatever your next chapter holds, Lenovo.com has the tech to help you succeed. Shop PCs right now at Lenovo.com during their back-to-school sale, where students can save more when they sign up for a Lenovo education account. Free shipping, easy returns, flexible financing. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
At home instead, our adaptable care plans give you the confidence of personalized help that's with you throughout your day. Even though we know there are plenty of things you'll still want to fly solo on, like finishing your daily Sudoku, or trying water aerobics, or watching baseball, also known as hogging the remote. We'll provide companionship when you need it, and space when you don't, all with a smile from qualified, compassionate caregivers matched to you. Visit Home Instead online for a better what's next.
This Saturday, August 9th, from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lago Vista High School, Gallery Furniture is giving away 400 twin, full, queen, or king mattresses to Texas Hill Country flood victims. If your home was impacted by the July 4th flooding, come early, first come, first serve. You must bring a valid photo ID showing you live in a flood-affected zip code to receive a mattress. No gimmick, no catch. Just a good mattress to help you recover and sleep better every night.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Cleanup is still underway for an earlier crash on I-35 northbound at William Cannon Drive. The left shoulder remains blocked off, causing about a 10-minute backup from Onion Creek Parkway. There's reports of an accident going northbound on Mopac around Enfield Road, as well as a new accident causing delays on Palmer Lane at Samsung Boulevard. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-973-9714, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9714. Call now, and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9714 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-9714.
Craig Way here. Not only am I the voice of a local college football team, I'm also the voice for Dr. Greg Eckert, Advanced Dentistry. I've been a patient of his for over 10 years. You can experience a new level of dental care in Austin with Dr. Eckert, where they provide general, cosmetic, and advanced restorative dentistry. And unlike a lot of dentists, they're open on Fridays. Call today to set up an appointment at 512-345-3166 or make an appointment online at dreckert.com. Eckert is spelled U-E-C-K-E-R-T. Again, U-E-C-K-E-R-T, dreckert.com.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings. Back to school is on the brain. That means new notebooks, pencils, new everything. And while the kids are getting ready to get book smart, it's time for you to save smart with Straight Talk Wireless. Switch now and get a free Moto G 2025 with 5G when you activate select plans. Now that's a smart call. Get Straight Talk covered by Verizon's 5G network. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Offer valid through 10/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Purchase of gold unlimited plan or higher required for offer. Must activate the plan in store at Walmart. Cannot be combined with other offers.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
We all remember that one teacher who made a difference. Now's your chance to say thank you in a big way. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding teacher in your life to be among the winners of $5,000 to stock their classroom at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
You can't be stopped with Unstoppable's laundry scent boosters because they give your clothes 24-hour nonstop freshness. So even on your longest nonstop days, you'll be confident in smelling fresh all day long. Try now for as low as $5 and smell unstoppable.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, El Paso,
San Antonio, and Silsbee, Texas,
or wherever you may be listening. This is a way back Wednesday edition of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. The Zone. Coach Sark met with the media and goes in depth on some of the injuries, where the team is, and the expectations moving forward. The Cowboys and Rams have team practice. Jera delivers some awful news. The Texans are closer to game day. Browns decide who's ready. They must have heard Mark Henry. And Texas makes good on a decision. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, Marcus is behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. And if you want to leave a voicemail or voice your opinion, or get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Pantera, all you got to do is leave us a message by using that talkback feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. You know, the one that you got us number one on your presets. Continue to do that. And also make us number two so you can get there for our podcast page. That's right, folks. Make sure you are always downloading it. All right, let's get right into it. Coach Sark met with the media yesterday, and as we get closer and closer, because guess what, folks? We are 24 days away from Texas and Ohio State, number 1 versus number 2 in the preseason polls for the first time ever, kicking off the season at high noon Eastern time, 11 o'clock Central time. Goodness gracious. Woo! Coach Sark met with the media talking about practice, seeing how things are going, and he's going to give us an injury update. But let's hear from Coach Sark as he addressed the media yesterday.
All righty. Really, it's been a good first 6 practices for us. You know, we had the first 4-day block. We took Sunday off and then came back Monday and Tuesday with really competitive, tough practices. Yesterday was half pads. Today was our first day in full pads. And we pushed the guys. You know, it was a long, hard practice in the heat. I thought we responded, really well with a lot of different aspects of the game that we've gotten ourselves into. We're through a lot.
Oh, wow. I mean, that was abrupt.
Yeah, hello, how you doing?
I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
What did we do to deserve that, sir?
But he also gave us an injury update as well about some of the players and gave us that bad news.
Andre sustained a season-ending injury, and hate that for him. He'd been working hard to get himself in a competitive state, and so we'll get him healthy. We'll support him just like we've done a lot of other guys who have had injuries in the past. At this point, to try to go in the portal and find a tackle, I might as well go to the co-op. I might have a better shot over there. So no, I'm not going to try to do that.
Yeah, because our guy Eric Henry asked him, "Are you thinking about getting into the portal to try to go find an offensive tackle?" I'm like, I was personally thinking, isn't it a little late to do that as far as 6 practices in and trying to go get that? He said he got a better chance of going to the co-op and finding one than he does trying to get out there now. But just like anything else, you want to understand what it's all about, how things are broken down, and what are your options? What are your options going to be at right tackle?
No, I mean, we're looking at different options and different people. Brandon's a heck of a player. We're excited about him, but we've moved Brandon around some too. Again, we've never tried to be just a one-dimensional group, especially early on the first couple weeks of training camp. We're always mixing people around because I don't know what might happen in week 4 of the season or week 8 or week 12 or week 15. This is a long, long way to go. So we got to keep developing our people. We've got plenty of good people in that room, and we'll be okay.
So let me ask you this, Mark, because of some of the things that we've talked about before, the cross-training, the situations that we have seen, and Coach Sark and his team have talked about this often. The more and more you cross-train with players, the better off your team is going to be. You're going to hear about players moving from one position to another position. We've seen it happen. We saw what Jade was able to do and become a Thorpe Award winner. We've seen offensive lineman Trevor Gooseby, for example, right now, being able to go from right tackle to left tackle and now solidifying himself as one of the top freakish athletes in college football. But then you also look at what has happened with Trey Moore. Trey Moore came in as a defensive end, and now he's playing the weak side linebacker where he's been able to get off the line of scrimmage and rush freely. So there are some things that if you understand, if you're a football player, they're going to find a way to get you on the field.
Right, you're going to get on the field. I mean, the whole point, cross-training is good in the sense that you get to learn you get to learn the playbook, you get to learn it from a different perspective.
Yep.
But as size and length matters when you play tackle to guard.
Right.
Like, having a 80-inch arm span gives you another 4 or 5 inches to keep somebody at bay when they would normally just try to get into your chest.
Right.
So you want to be able to extend away from people. At tackle, you got to have that. Right. You don't need it at guard. It's hard. It's hard to. I mean, you can do it, but I would rather have a guy 6'6", 6'7" with real long arms playing tackle than a 6'3", 6'2", 300-pound guard with short arms.
Right.
Like it's not as helpful.
Yeah, and what they've been able to do, and talking about Brandon Baker, there's a lot of guys that are going to need to step up, and one of those guys is going to be Nick Brooks. Yep. He's somebody that has to step up, the true freshman.
Coleman.
There's a lot that Texas has been working with to get to this point. As you and I know, football is a contact sport, and we'll hear from Sark about that a little bit later. You have to have those guys be able to have that type of leverage and being able to have that type of versatility to be in this ball game, because there's going to be some bruises that people don't see, and you're going to have to get out there and play. But a couple players that he was talking about as well is Ryan Wingo, and DJ Campbell. Both of those guys have been dealing with some injuries as well, and Coach Sark brought those guys up to see when they're going to be back on track.
Yeah, DJ's back. Ryan's probably one more day. We're going to give him one more day tomorrow off, and then he'll be back rolling on Thursday. So that'll be great. The interior D lineman, man, we're deep. That's probably the biggest thing I can say about that group right now. And we're playing a lot of guys, which has been good. As you guys know, a lot of our practices will 2-spot, where it might be the 1s and the 3s on this field and the 2s and the 4s on the upper field. And then we'll go 1s and the 2s on the lower field, 3s and the 4s on the upper field. But we've had 2 of our 6 practices where we've been on one field and we're going 1s, 2s, 3s, 1s, 2s, 3s. And that is when I really feel our depth, because it's really interchangeable. A lot of those guys are pushing and trying to, get more and more playing time. So I've been impressed. I've been impressed with Murad Watson, Cole Brevard. I've seen a step out of him. Hero Canoe, Alex January's stepped his game up from where he was a year ago. Levon, in what he's bringing, what he has going. So we're fortunate in that room right now. We've got great depth. I don't think we're going to have to overuse guys. And again, my biggest thing is, do we have enough depth, man? When you look at our team, and I think about January, as much as I'm thinking about August 30th, I'm thinking about this journey we're trying to go on. And hey, football is a contact sport, and things happen in our sport, unfortunately, as we found out with Andre Kojo. And the fact that we have the depth on the O-line right now, the same with the interior defensive line, the same with the tight ends, that's why we have to keep trying to develop these young players, whether it's a Justice Terry or a Josiah Sharma. We got to keep bringing these guys along. They're probably not finished products today. If we were playing today, probably not a great chance they would play. But over time, they're going to earn their way. That's why we got to keep developing these players and not just get into game plan mode. We got to keep working with our young players too.
Wow. He did a great job of filling that room.
Yeah.
And, Cole Brevard and Travis Shaw, both of those guys came from really good programs doing the most.
Yeah.
6'3", 350. Both of them. Have you seen Brevard?
Yeah. He's ridiculous. He's
Man,
muscle bound.
I'm like, how can you be 350 pounds and have all that muscle like that? Like,
Yeah.
he does not look like a 350-pound guy.
Right.
He may not be now. He may be more, 330, 335. But, man, what a big human.
Yeah. And that's the thing, too, that you start to look at and you're like, yeah, Texas has done their job on the defensive line. But now the question is, how deep is that offensive line going to be able to roll? We're just getting started on a way back Wednesday edition of the Morning Kickoff. Coming up, we'll hear more from Coach Sark. And there are some things that are out there that people really don't understand about the Teddy Bridgewater signing. I'll explain in the Hardge Knocks Life segment. We'll also talk top rivalries in college football to close out hour number 1. What a great day for a way back Wednesday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Do you ever feel like when you're talking, nobody is listening? Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone will listen to you. What is on your mind? Go! All you have to do is use the iHeartRadio app talkback feature when listening to AM 1300 The Zone.
Yo, hello, it's me. Enjoy the show.
We will get your message instantly, and we promise to listen to it.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas.
T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live only on Hulu. A weekend full of superstar performances. And keep listening for the next chance to win your way there.
The 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival is brought to you by Metro. With their new lower prices, the celebration starts way before the festival. Big savings so you can focus on your favorite artist, not your phone bill. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you'll need.
Cleanup is still underway for an earlier crash on I-35 northbound at William Cannon Drive. The left shoulder remains blocked off, causing about a 10-minute backup from Onion Creek Parkway. There's reports of an accident going northbound on Mopac around Enfield Road, as well as a new accident causing delays on Palmer Lane at Samsung Boulevard. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
In 20628.
Electrical problems are a warning. Flickering lights, warm switches, bulbs burning out too soon all need attention. I trust Abacus licensed electricians. Their years of experience make an electrical problem no problem. No wonder they say Abacus. You can count on us.
Hardge here. School's back in session, so let's make sure your ride is ready. At Covert Chevy in Hutto, it's not just about the vehicle, it's about the people riding with you. Get $14,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 RST or $6,000 off of MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Tahoe Premier. Start the school year strong with Covert Chevy, Highway 79 in Hutto, or shop CovertChevyHutto.com. Together, let's drive.
Ice Cube's Big Three is the surprise hit of the summer. This Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS, with playoff elimination on the line. The most physical, fiercest, and competitive basketball in the world. Miami's Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson must win to make the playoffs. And breakout star Dwight Howard of the LA Riot will battle Gary Payton's Boston squad in a do-or-die match for both teams. 6 teams are allowed for 4 spots, and all must win. There's no crying in the Big Three. And the no-holds-barred action starts Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Presented by iHeart.
After a trip to the 2025 Women's Final Four, an SEC championship in their first season, and sold-out crowds at the Moody Center, Texas women's basketball is on fire. And season tickets for 2025-26 are on sale now, starting at just $100. Longhorn Nation helped deliver the first undefeated home season in 22 years. Now it's your turn to be part of the action. Bring the energy, bring the pride, bring the Texas fight all season long. Lock in your seats today at TexasLonghorns.com.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a best man speech, but getting one from some random +1.
I can't believe I'm standing here today. Seriously, why am I standing here?
Don't settle for just any insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit TremfyaRadio.com.
It's Bud Light's countdown to kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
It is the countdown to kickoff. 24 days until the Texas Longhorns travel to Columbus, Ohio to take on the number 2 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. 11 a.m. kickoff. But you can hear the game right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 Zone and always free on the iHeart Radio app. We'll also tell you where we'll be for the pregame show as we kick off the football season. But as you know, school is about to start. We want to give a shout out. I told you about the 3 teachers yesterday, and we focused on Margaret Mendoza Oliveras. So right now we're going to focus on Morgan Mihan Klein from Science Tech Middle School, Wayside Science Tech Middle School. She has done an unbelievable job, whether it's baking treats for the staff, working with the scholars after school for their art club, helping theater with props, and leading her 6th grade team. She's always going above and beyond. She worked at Wayside for 5 years and has made lifelong connections with the students and their families. She's always make sure that the students feel like they're being seen, they're safe, and special in the art class. She epitomizes.
Epitomizes?
Yes.
That word? Okay.
Yeah. She epitomizes all means all motto at Wayside is what she lives by. So shout out to Miss Morgan Meehan Klein as she has continued to help those kids, and we'll be doing that all week. So if you want to nominate a teacher, all you got to do is leave us a voicemail or contact us at iHeartMedia. All right, Mark, we're going to continue the conversations with Coach Sark as he met with the media yesterday and talked a lot about this football team. And as you know, as we get closer and closer to the action, he's really trying to dive into this football team and see where they are. And one of the things that he wanted to talk about was how he's going to approach the scrimmages.
Well, I don't know if we adjust our scrimmages so much early in camp because we need that information. We need to find out. We need to give guys opportunities to tackle because that's the only way we can gain information on guys tackling and guys getting tackled. You know, we tackled for a portion of practice today, which we needed to do. And so there'll be portions of the scrimmage that have been in the past where we tackle, and there'll be portions of the scrimmage where we'll be thud and we'll stay up. But that information is needed for the coaching staff and for the players. It's you have to do it because we have to play a real game, August 30th too, and we're going to have to get some real people on the ground, or that could be a long day, and we're going to get tackled by good people. And so you have to practice football to get good at football. But again, once we kind of get into those last couple weeks, getting closer to the game, we'll start to pare back on that, and then we'll get into our in-season mode. And we adjusted that last year once we got going. I thought it was fairly effective for us the way that we did it.
It was fairly effective because Texas ended up going on and playing for the semifinals, and they get ready to have that rematch of the semifinals. But one of the other things that they were talking about, what does a full pad practice look like? What are you expecting to see when these guys go head up and start to hit for real?
Well, I think one, your pad level is so important, and you can have good pad level not in pads or even in half pads, but when you get to full pads, like you really got to have good pad level because the next guy across from you is probably going to have even better pad level. So you got to be great from that aspect. I think that we're always looking for contact courage. This is we play a contact sport, and then how do we play when some of those collisions occur? And then are you overwhelmed with the physicality of the game? And that's it. I know that sounds like what's he talking about? But sometimes when you're so consumed with I want to be physical, I want to be physical, I want to be physical, your spatial awareness of what's going on around you, shrinks. And we want to be a really smart team too. As physical as we want to be really smart. We want to be really aware. Our antennas got to be up. Our alerts got to be up. We got to communicate at a really high level. But if we're just so enamored with just, crash test dummies, that doesn't work for us. We've got to think really good and play physical. And so we're trying to combine those two things at once.
What do you think about that?
I don't know, man. I think that a lot of times we get into the toughness of everything rather than the thinking of it. Coach Sark is always about how let's think everything out.
Yeah. He's getting after it. I mean, I understand what he was talking about the pad level too, because it's so easy for us to get into a certain level with the pads when you're not having to hit, but you got to be behind your pads. You got to be able to maneuver the headspace that you have to be in to understand where I need to be in all of these situations and how do I need to approach it. So for me, I thought that was
low man is always going to win. So the lower you can establish your base and get your hands on people, the more you handle the man in front of you.
Yeah. And
also, you got to be reacquainted with being comfortable in your pads.
Yeah. I mean, you're running around. The only problem is they've been practicing with shoulder pads the whole time. The main thing is being able to find that level when it's full speed, when you're about to get hit. you got to be able to adjust and know where you're supposed to be and think with a clear mind.
Used to, when everybody had scrimmages, like real scrimmages, you got to get that action. But now we don't have that. So you got to figure that out as you go against your own people, and then people get hurt because they're not used to it.
Well, that's why he's trying to make sure that the fundamentals are in place. You got to be able to go through the fundamental work of it first before you can get there. It's almost like what you do with the weights. You can't run in there and just start throwing up weights.
No.
You got to have technique, and that is why it's always important to understand when you're going through these practices, it's not going through the motion. It is actual focus on what you're supposed to be doing, because that is what you're supposed to be doing. That's it. There's nothing else going on. Focus on how you get to your pad level and making sure that you do things the right way. Yes, it's football. It's contact sport. People are going to get injured. But you have to be able to go about it the right way, because a nick here is different than a true injury like they're dealing with right now with the offensive lineman. One of the biggest stories right now has been about how is Mosley learning the new wide receiver position, because, you're coming from Stanford and doing the things you were doing there, but now you're dealing with Coach Sark and the way he goes about his business. And that was one of the things that he was asked yesterday.
Yeah. Emmett, I'm impressed with, he is a bigger guy than you think. Even for me, I have to remind myself he's 210 pounds. Okay. And so the fact that he's very smart, he's got extremely strong hands, and he's probably faster than I think too. Everything about him is probably better than you would think. We're fortunate with him. The system that he played in at Stanford, I think, helps him in his transition with us, because there's similarities to the way it was taught conceptually. I think I spoke about this last time, as opposed to maybe Matt Golden. When Matt came to us from Houston, Matt was coming from an air raid system, totally different way, the way that they teach the offense and the way that you learn a system. And every system's different, right? But when it's like, you live in the U.S. and then somebody drops you off in France and you got to learn French on the fly, that's tough. That's tough to do, as opposed to somebody who maybe is living in Canada and then moves to the U.S. It's not that big of a difference. They probably got some similarities. So Emmett, it's probably a little easier for him than maybe it was for Matt when Matt first got here.
Wow. Yeah. It's interesting because of the way that things are being run. And now Coach Sark lets you know that, hey, there's some guys that pick it up right away, and there's some guys that have to take a little bit of time to be able to get that.
The first thing he mentioned was how smart he was.
Yeah. Stanford. I mean,
yeah,
you go to Stanford,
they don't just take everybody.
Yeah, they're not lowering their standards just for you.
They're not Ivy, but they're right there.
They're on the edge when it comes to that. So that's impressive to see. We'll hear more from Coach Sark at the top of the hour. But coming up next in the Hard Knocks Life, I want to talk about Teddy Bridgewater. Yes, he signed a new contract, but there's more to the story that we didn't get a chance to touch on, and we will when we come back to a Way Back Wednesday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
We're all cleared for that crash on I-35 northbound at William Cannon Drive. Still seeing some residual backup starting from Onion Creek Parkway, though. About a 5-minute out of your drive through some congestion on Loop 360 southbound from Spicewood Springs over to Bee Cave. There's also a crash at the corner of Palmer Lane and Samsung Boulevard. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever.
perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Hey, it's JB and Sandy for our friends at Koala Cooling. You know, by all Texas standards, this summer has been pretty mild, but that doesn't mean it couldn't change in a heartbeat and be hot for a long time. So you want to make sure that your AC unit is ready to go. Call Koala Cooling and get your AC qualified. Call 512-759-8800 or go to koalacooling.com. Got a plumbing issue? They can take care of that too. JB, you recently had them out to your house.
I did. I just had Chris, one of their technicians from Koala Plumbing, come out. I had a external faucet that was stuck, and I was afraid I was going to break it. You know, I have an old house. And before he got here, I got this nice text telling me about Chris, the technician that's showing up, a little bit about him, a little bit of his, that he's a dog lover and an avid gamer. So when he showed up, I'm like, hey, Chris, how are you? Did a great job.
Go to koalacooling.com or call 512-759-8800.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is coming back to Las Vegas, September 19th and 20th. Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com. Get your tickets today. AXS.com.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus, offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face. At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Jose Altuve and Yanier Diaz each went yard, leading the Astros over the Marlins in Miami. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones says he hasn't spoken to Micah Parsons since his trade request and isn't confident that Parsons will play in Week 1. Texas practiced in full pads for the first time in fall camp yesterday. They opened their season against Ohio State August 30th in Columbus. I'm Ronza Moss.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Find it behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
Get fired up, y'all. Season 2 of Good Game with Sarah Spain is underway, and we just welcomed one of my favorite people, an incomparable soccer icon, Megan Rapinoe, to the show. Take a listen.
Sue and I were like riding the Lime bikes the other day, and we're like, whee! Like, this is unbelievable. People ride bikes because it's fun.
We've got more incredible guests like Megan in store, plus news of the day and more. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Good Game with Sarah Spain, and listen now.
Coach Sark here. 1300 The Zone is your flagship home for the Texas Longhorns.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Mike Hardball, Hardge, world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, the Mark Henry, and of course we've got our guy Marcus behind the boards. And if you missed any part of the show, get over to the podcast page and you will be able to hear all the great interviews that we've had this week already. And of course, we're going to continue these conversations. As we mentioned yesterday, we talked a little bit about Teddy Bridgewater and his return to the NFL. He is signing a 1-year deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be, let's be honest, he's coming in to be the backup for Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield needs a good backup, and Teddy Bridgewater, somebody who has been around the game for quite some time, has done an unbelievable job in his career and probably would have been, as I said yesterday, Minnesota's QB1 for quite some time if he never had that knee injury. But Teddy Two Gloves is one of the great guys in the NFL and has always been that guy. Doesn't rock the boat, not a prima donna, just does what he's supposed to do and gets things done. But I want to go back to his high school coaching time. He retired from the NFL and became the head coach at his former high school. All they did was go out there, get his team to the playoffs, and actually win a state championship. And that was Miami Northwestern High School. And he did an unbelievable job. He did so much and did so good there that they were excited about having him back. Well, during his time at the high school, it was reported that he has to deal with a suspension. And the reason why he was dealing with a suspension was not because he was getting kids to transfer into the school, not because he was cheating or violating on the field activities. He got in trouble for personally funding Uber rides, meals, and recovery services for his players. Now, he wasn't using school funds. He wasn't skimming off the top. This was coming out of his pocket for the well-being of some of his players that obviously had issues.
Can we explain what the recovery part of that is? Everything else people understand. There's places where you can go get an IV.
Yeah.
You can get ice and cooling systems, hyperbaric chambers, cryo, you name it.
Yep. So he did this out of his own pocket. Well, it was violating some of the district's policies. Now, you can look at it in a certain way and like, hey man, some people's issues are different than others. But again, he wasn't using school funding. He was not using anything that had to do with taking away from what the district was giving him. He just was able to afford it.
30 Ubers was not a lot.
Well, the other part of it is there's probably happening right here. It's probably happening all over the place that some parent may have access of money and be able to help
a family out, help a kid out. But
Exactly.
that's the point. You're helping the kid.
Yep.
I think the problem comes because he's the coach.
But what does it matter? There's teachers that go in their rooms and they spend money out of their own pocket to put all those signs up on the walls.
A lot of
for the
teachers have
kids.
been doing that.
And they go buy
school supplies
yes. for those kids because they know the kids gonna come to school on the first day,
right,
and not have what they need for success.
Yeah, we're going.
You
through
gonna
this stuff about
criticize them
food.
people, man?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's one of those situations that we live in a time that it's okay to do this, but if you're actually helping a kid get food, get to practice, get to school, and now we're penalizing them for having the ability to help out in this. Why are we doing fundraisers all the time if we got a coach that can actually do things like that? Why are we having these types of conversations all the time and he's being punished for that?
Ironically, he could do it now and it's no problem for the players.
Exactly,
in the
because
school
he's donating. You know, and that is the thing too, that we've got kids now in college that are getting paid a lot of money to do things. We're getting kids that are getting NIL to be able to go wherever they want. I understand before we were in an age where you couldn't even buy a kid a cheeseburger if you saw him out. It would be in violation of the NCAA rules. And I'm not criticizing the district for their rules because there was another school that went through the same thing, and it's not a big story.
I'm criticizing it.
It's not Teddy Bridgewater, but in this particular situations, you have to understand that we can bring it to a vote. We can bring it to a situation to where did it help or hurt? I think the biggest thing too for us, we have to understand is like, these are our kids. These are kids that are trying to do better in life. And if they are receiving these types of things, an Uber ride to make sure that they can get to and fro, their neighborhoods in Miami Northwestern aren't that great. It's a tough situation. The recovery, kids need to learn these types of things. And if he has the ability to help them be better so they can come in and be focused at school, because at the end of the day, yes, they play football and they won a championship, but they still have to be academically locked in to be able to get to the next level. So why are we penalizing people for doing the right thing and doing right by kids?
I don't know. My wife was an educator, was a teacher when she first, got out of college, and Hardge, like the kids would show up with no deodorant, no toothpaste, no, and she would buy that stuff. And some of those environments that she taught in were rough. I would go sit in her class because people used to wild out.
Yep.
Like, Teddy is in a situation where he's trying to help the situation. The parents either can't do it or they won't do it.
Yeah.
And he's being a surrogate. And to be penalized for helping somebody else's kids that's not, and yes, he wants them to show up to practice. And yes, he wants to help them get home, because you can't go to a 3-hour practice and then walk 5 miles home or because you missed the bus.
Right.
Like help, come on, man. Like these districts gotta understand, like, change the rule. Just change it.
Yep.
Because otherwise, you're gonna have a whole generation of kids that don't even play sports.
Well, and that's why some of these things that we've been talking about, especially in this day and age, crazy, you have to look at it and say, what are we really, really worried about in these situations? So we'll see. We'll continue those conversations. But coming up next, I want to have a conversation about college rivalries and which ones some people think are the top ones out there, right here on a way back Wednesday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Coach Sark here. Stay connected to the Longhorns on the free iHeartRadio app.
Breaks a tackle, 30, turns down the sidelines. So you get up to this one. Touchdown, Texas.
Just search 1300 The Zone. Hook 'em.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
About a 10 to 15 minute delay being caused by an accident on I-35 southbound at Tech Ridge Boulevard. It has you all tied up starting from Wells Branch Parkway. Looking at the drive this morning over on Highway 71 eastbound, no delays from I-35 over to 130, about a 10-minute drive. Also traffic free on 130 northbound from I-35 to Highway 71. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. Fall for a brooding duke. Dive into a steamy romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas, or find the perfect rom-com from Lily Chu. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
Hard, your place says baller, but you drive like you're stuck in reverse.
Yeah, at least mine doesn't say world's sweetest man like yours.
That's the world's strongest man. And I lifted that plate from myplace.com.
Well, I scored mine with up to $55 off by using the promo code DAZONE at checkout.
Wait, you got a discount?
Yeah, big fella. It's the only time I've ever pinned you. Go to myplates.com, choose your play, use the code DAZONE for up to $55 off. Myplates.com. Be seen. Be bold.
Hey there, local business owner. Ready to make some more money? Whether you own an auto shop or a dinner spot, Valpak Direct Marketing can help you do just that. All bells and whistles are included, so you advertise when and where it counts to reach new customers that spend more. Measurable results, proven reach, zero guesswork. That's Valpak. Visit valpak.com/advertise to see if you qualify for a free mailing. That's VALPAK.com/advertise. Let's grow.
Famous Footwear has the latest styles from all my favorite brands like Nike, Adidas, Crocs, Converse, New Balance, Birkenstock, and more. And with over 830 stores, Famous Footwear is always nearby with fit experts to make sure my new shoes fit my feet and mom's budget. She says the prices are like really good, so you don't have to overspend to make it famous. Right now, buy one pair of shoes, get one half off at your local Famous Footwear store. Some exclusions apply.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Ice Cube's Big Three is the surprise hit of the summer. This Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS, with playoff elimination on the line. The most physical, fiercest, and competitive basketball in the world. Miami's Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson must win to make the playoffs. And breakout star Dwight Howard of the LA Riot will battle Gary Payton's Boston squad in a do-or-die match for both teams. 6 teams are alive for 4 spots, and all must win. There's no crying in the Big Three. And the no-holds-barred action starts Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Presented by iHeart.
It is tough to go outside these days. Hey, that's understandable given how hot it is. But there is definitely a way to beat the heat. A trip to Inner Space Caverns in Georgetown. Inner Space Caverns is a great place to take the family. You'd be amazed at all of the beautiful formations, large rooms, prehistoric animal bones, and all kinds of creations with a truly unique discovery story right here in the Austin area in the year-round temperature of a very comfortable 72 degrees. You can check out the super exciting Sabertooth Zip Ride or Pan for Gemstones. Take the Wild Cave Tour or the Hidden Passages Tour. And there's a great souvenir gift shop and newly remodeled restrooms. Get out of the house, but get out of the heat and get some fresh air underground. Inner Space Caverns, right off I-35 at exit 259 in Georgetown. That's Inner Space Caverns. For more details, check them out on the web at innerspacecaverns.com. Inner Space Caverns. Check it out. Your adventure awaits.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeart Radio app. Texas football plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Now's your time to get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Pantera September the 2nd at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater. All you got to do is get over to that iHeartRadio app, search for AM 1300 The Zone. You should already have that, by the way. Tap that red microphone and leave the keyword of the day. What? What is the keyword of the day for a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Pantera September the 2nd at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater. Also, make sure you listen to the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, this afternoon from 2 to 5, as Craig and Cam Parker will be breaking down all the latest in Texas football, because he is the voice of Texas football, and we are your home of Texas football. In the top of the hour, we'll talk a little bit more about what we heard from Coach Sarkisian as he gets ready, and his team is 24 days away from taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Right now, I want to get into this conversation because we were talking about college football, the expectations of college football, and what we're all looking for in college football. And, you know, people always want to have these discussions about rivalries and which rivalry is the best rivalry in sports. And, oh, you can't say this team is better than that one. And just like anything else, you know as well as I do, when you watch these rivalry games and the expectations of these rivalry games, what's the first one that comes to mind for you, Mark Henry?
Well, I mean, being a Texan, the Red River rivalry has always been like the rivalry for me.
Okay.
But being a kid that just watched TV, the cocktail game,
the cocktail party,
you know, that's always one that stood out. The Iron Bowl, you know, always stood out.
That would be number 2. The Iron Bowl would be number 2. The cocktail party this is by Fox Sports, by the way. Number 7 will be the cocktail party, will be the number 7 game. The number 1, they believe, is Michigan and Ohio State. They believe that's
number 1.
They believe that is the number 1 matchup. The number 10 matchup is Mississippi State and Ole Miss.
It's the Egg Bowl.
I'm just like, what are we doing? No, the Egg Bowl is Alabama and
right. Okay.
Auburn. That is the Egg Bowl. But this game right here is like, okay, I don't think it's that big of a rivalry. It may be in Mississippi, but it's not something nationally that people will be watching. They have Texas and Texas A&M at number 9. I think because of what you said, as a Texan, this game should be a lot higher.
It should be higher.
They also have the Holy War, BYU and Utah. That comes in at number 8. Number 7, I did tell you, Florida and Georgia. Number 6, Florida State and Miami. Now, that back in the day was must watch. That was must watch. Like, you had to watch that. Number 5, Notre Dame, USC. Number 4, Navy versus Army.
That was next.
Number 3, Oklahoma versus Texas. This is how they listed. I know it's Texas versus Oklahoma from here. Number 2, Alabama versus Auburn. And number 1, Michigan versus Ohio State.
I don't like it.
Recency bias. I think that's what it's more about. Because I think that's the reason why A&M and Texas is so Texas and Ed, you know what I mean, so low, is because they just got back together.
Well, but I mean,
they played that game 100 years.
Yeah,
but I'm saying recency bias because it's been so long since the last time. If you don't count last year, that they don't think about it being a number 1 rivalry like it is a top rivalry.
I don't know. I mean, I agree to disagree, but I think that Texas, the pageantry of it all.
Yep.
The separating the stadium.
Yeah, the house divided too. You think
red and orange split right down. And now they, over the last 3 or 4 years, they have like 3 or 4 cops sitting in the crowd, like on the border.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's dangerous. I mean, when you got cops sitting in the crowd, this is something else.
Yeah.
I think they just want to be at the game.
Yeah, I would volunteer for that spot.
So if you had to, who obviously you would say Texas, Oklahoma is your number 1.
That would be number 1.
Would you put Michigan, Ohio State number 2, or would you put Alabama, Auburn?
I would go Alabama, Auburn second.
I love the Florida State Miami matchup. I know it's a little bit different now because the teams are not where they used to be when they had all the talent. Now the talent spread so far out. It's a little bit different.
Notre Dame USC was always a good game too.
That was a good one
because they always had people that you wanted to see them in a big game situation. Rocket Ismail, Reggie Bush. You know, like you knew they were going to have unbelievable talent on those teams.
Let's not forget that run that they had, all games coming down to field goals.
Which one are you talking about?
Florida State, Miami.
Yeah. Miss right.
Either
wide
right, wide left.
Yeah. So some of the honorable mentions are USC and UCLA, Nebraska versus Oklahoma, Wisconsin versus Minnesota, Stanford versus Cal, Oregon State, Oregon and West Virginia. University of Washington versus Washington State, West Virginia versus Pitt, Ohio State and Penn State, Florida FSU. That was a big time rivalry. That was always fun.
Ohio State and Penn State is pretty. That's big too.
Yeah.
Why is this so low?
And then Michigan and Michigan State, that game as well. Whenever you have the state games, it is something to pay attention to as well. I believe that Texas and Oklahoma, to me, is the biggest rivalry. It was the one it was always a standalone. It was the one that the nation was watching because it's on that Saturday.
Where was Army Navy?
It wasn't Army Navy. Oh, they were number four.
Yeah, that's a good spot. Because I mean that's the country.
Yeah.
And that game is always, you knew it was gonna be a fundamental game. People gonna shake hands before, they're gonna shake hands after. It was always a good sportsmanship game.
Yeah. I look at these matchups and, BYU and Utah, unless you're on the West Coast.
I don't care.
Right. Unless you're a West Coast person, that Mississippi State Ole Miss, I don't remember it ever being like a knockdown, drag out football game. And maybe that's just because before we got into the SEC, we weren't really paying attention to those types of games unless it was the athletic part of it with Georgia, the cocktail party you were talking about. Hour number 1 is in the books. Hour number 2 is just around the corner. We'll hear more from Coach Sark, and we'll talk some more NFL as Jerry Jones is getting on my last nerve. Shocker! Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
It's almost time for kickoff. Brought to you by Bud Light.
Breaks a tackle, 30, turns down the sidelines. Say goodnight to this one. Touchdown, Texas.
Listen to every play, every touchdown, every win on 1300 The Zone.
Fires for the end zone. It's intercepted. Kicked off. This ball game is over.
Today's countdown is
24 days.
Presented by Bud Light all season long on the free iHeartRadio app.
Ice Cube's Big 3 is the surprise hit of the summer. This Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS with playoff elimination on the line. The most physical, fiercest, and competitive basketball in the world. Miami's Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson must win to make the playoffs. And breakout star Dwight Howard of the LA Riot will battle Gary Payton's Boston squad in a do-or-die match for both teams. 6 teams are alive for 4 spots and all must win. There's no crying in the Big 3. And the no-holds-barred action starts Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Presented by iHeart.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
There's a lot of uncertainty in the world, but one thing's for sure. You need a PC you can rely on. Whether it's for school, gaming, or whatever your next chapter holds, Lenovo.com has the tech to help you succeed. Shop PCs right now at Lenovo.com during their back-to-school sale, where students can save more when they sign up for a Lenovo education account. Free shipping, easy returns, flexible financing. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Most investments today feel like second jobs. Real estate, you're a landlord. Stocks, you're a day trader. Crypto, you're a full-time researcher. You've got a life to live. Your investment should help you live it. That's why more Americans are choosing gold. Noble Gold has helped thousands protect their future with real physical gold. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com to get your free wealth protection kit. That's noblegoldinvestments.com.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Would you drive 10 minutes for $500? That's the distance from CarMax to Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $1,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at Henna.com. Together, let's drive.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Get early access to Sleep Number's biggest sale of the year. 25% off the i8 bed, our most popular. Plus free home delivery. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
You've got apps for everything. Music, photos, even ordering coffee. But only one app gives you the live radio experience. It's radio your way. Anytime, anywhere. Join the millions already listening. The free iHeartRadio app. The #1 app for radio.
From the Audio Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Mike Hardball Hardge, WWE Hall of Famer, world's strongest man, the Mark Henry. And of course, we've got Marcus behind the boards. In hour #1, we talked about Coach Sark. He gave his opening statement, gave injury reports and updates on all the players, and talked about some of his options. He also talked about full pads and scrimmages, and we talked about Teddy Bridgewater, which my boy Kyle keeps saying this has got to be the dumbest thing and what a failure in our system for taking care of the kids. And we just finished up with the rivalries in college football. But right now, we want to talk a little bit more about Coach Sark. In the next segment, we'll talk Jerry Jones.
Do we have to?
Yeah, because we got to give a Micah update. There's so much that's going on. And then, of course, we've got Mark Henry's world's strongest take. What can the folks look forward to, Mark?
You know what, man? We talked about it briefly yesterday. Not playing people in a game because of money, but just play the best talent.
Right. And so Mark will touch on that. He will touch on that as well. But right now, I want you to hear from Coach Sark, because this was an interesting question that was asked yesterday by our guy, Joe Cook of Inside Texas. You remember that there's always analysts that are there and special assistants that have now been working for the University of Texas. And he was asked about Arch Manning's psyche over the last couple of years of being a third-string quarterback and spending some time with those special assistants to kind of ease his mind a little bit.
I don't know a whole lot about those. I try not to get too involved when players are having meetings like that, because that's for them. If a guy's looking for extra meeting time, extra work, that doesn't surprise me from Arch. That's the way he approaches the game. He wants to be really good. We had a walkthrough last night that I thought was a really good walkthrough after practice yesterday, and I was leaving the bubble, and I turned around and Arch had the offense and about half the offense out there having his own walkthrough with those guys afterwards. So that's the way he operates. That's just what he does. He's always going to try to find an edge. He's always going to try to make sure that he's in the best space to compete at a high level.
That's what Arch does. That's how he rolls. That's how his mindset is. And then again, we talked a little bit about this early in the week about him and his family. They watch film. They break down things. They want to be great at everything. They're never going to be perfect, but they want to be great. And one of the things that was discussed as well was Arch, is he taking care of the football so far during camp, and how important is it?
We've been good. You know, I felt like yesterday was probably not our best practice of taking care of the ball. Now, we've obviously got some guys that, you know, we've been working hard on defense about playing the ball even better than we have in the past. And, you know, I think in the last 2 days, Manny Muhammad's had a couple picks, which have been really good plays. Jelani McDonald had a nice play today. Warren Roberson. So we're playing the ball, in my opinion, better in the air than we have in the past. You know, it's one thing to guard your man. It's another to play the ball. And I think we're talented enough to play the ball, and we've been making that a huge emphasis. But I don't think it's for, you know, yesterday I thought there was maybe a couple poor decisions. It's not for lack of poor decisions. I think sometimes it's guys making really good plays, and that's what competitive practices are all about.
I love that. I love that these guys, we're hearing about them taking care of the football, but we're also hearing that the defensive backs are making plays on the football. They're attacking the football, and that's one thing. Having Dwayne Akina back might be pushing some of those guys into that mindset. One of the biggest questions that Texas had over the last couple seasons, and it came down to their detriment in that game against Ohio State, was being able to get the ball in the end zone while they were in the red zone. And the tight end position is going to be an integral part of the success. They went out in the transfer portal, went and got Jack Andrews to come in and play tight end. They've also had a bunch of guys that are already in the program to play tight end. And the part about being in that red zone and being a safety net is so important. And Sark was asked about the tight end work that is being done in the red zone.
Yeah, you know, we've been fortunate, obviously, the last, you know, couple years with JT and then Gunner and their impact in the red area for us. I think it's always nice to have a quality tight end in the red area or two. You know, they're a little bigger body, a little bigger frame. You know, they can box people out to make catches. You can high point balls. I mean, how many times we see Gunner make catches above DBs where there was not much a DB could do about that. It's always nice to have that. You know, I think part of that, yes, was with Jack. I don't think that was the overriding theme. We wanted a guy who had real experience, who had played football at a high level at the tight end position. A bonus to that was his ability to help us in the red area.
You got to understand it. Got to be able to punch that ball in. And if you got guys that are big and can high point at the tight end position, that opens up
that
so
was a
much.
weakness. That was a weakness for Texas last year. If you got one of those guys, most of the Texas receivers were speedy, you know, crafty wide receivers, really fast. Now you got a tight end that's going to be able to handle that role, but you got Mosley who is going to be able to handle that role. And from what I'm hearing, Parker Livingstone is a high point maven. Like, you know, that if you got three, who do you double cover?
Right.
Who do you play underneath? And if, like he said, you want the guys that can box you out, like all of these guys now able to box out and high point balls, that's maybe Texas doesn't have to just pound it in and run it every time. But now I'm glad that the running game is going to be better this year. That's for sure.
Jordan Washington is 6'4", tight end. Jack Andrews, 6'4", tight end. You also have Shannon Spencer, who is 6'7", tight end.
Them some big boys.
Yeah, you got guys that are able to, as he says, high point the football at the tight end position and use their physical mass to move people out of the way. So it is going to be, you got to have that safety net, right? You got to have that safety blanket for Arch Manning, a guy that is new to the position. And what I mean by that is starting. But understanding that your tight end, your running backs are going to be your safety valve, and they can make people miss in space too.
Well, you also got to look. I'm going to find who's the shortest guy, and is my big guy matched up with him?
Yeah.
I'm going to give him the ball at the highest point to make sure we at least get a chance at it.
Right.
You know, if you overthrow him, fine. You live the punt. You live to kick the extra point or kick the field goal.
Right.
But like Texas haven't had that element in their game. You think about it, over the last 3 years, you know, Xavier Worthy is not the tallest guy. Goldie wasn't the tallest guy. Mitchell was, 6'3".
Right.
And did a good job of that. But
by the way, he's killing it right now.
Yeah, he's been doing real good at camp.
Yeah.
But like those guys are still like in the 6'3" range. I'm talking about these 6'7" monsters or 6'5" monsters.
Yeah.
Now Texas has got a few.
Yeah, and Texas, as I said before, does the playbook now open up for Sark? Like, is this his muse? Is this his guy in Arch Manning that can make every single throw that he can dial up? He can make the NFL throw with enough zip and enough accuracy that now we see the whole complement of what Sark has been masterminding behind the scenes.
Sometimes you got to throw people off. And where you would do something, maybe one of these analysts or one of these other offensive minds that you have, you allow them to help with that transition so they don't run a play that you typically would run and the defense would be prepared for it. Throw wrinkles at people. Give yourself an advantage by not just the physicality of the game, but by the scheming of the game.
Well, and that's why I'm curious to it. Like when you sit and you think about what we've seen from Sark and the love that we've given him because he's a great offensive mind and
he has tendencies though.
And he has tendencies, and sometimes you got to go against those tendencies. But now your tendencies is because of what you've had to do. Now you have more because now you have the element of the run game with Arch Manning. Now you have those plays in the red zone where we're yelling, run, 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 and Quinn would throw it as opposed to running. Now you have a quarterback in Arch Manning that can supersede some of the, I'm not going to say bad play calls or the ones that don't give you a true chance of getting in there because of what you said about the tendencies. Somebody jumps a route, Arch can tuck it and run because he has that type of ability. So do you mask some of that to get to that point? And some of this stuff too, there are going to be some deep shots down the field that they're not going to have to be in the red zone.
Right. That's
because of the accuracy down the field. So we'll see. We're excited about it, obviously. We're going to continue these conversations. We got so much more coming up tomorrow with Coach Sark, so you can hear the rest of these interviews as well. But coming up next, we're going to talk NFL. We got some news that we did not want to hear, but we kind of knew we were going to hear it. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show.
Life is Good by Joe Walsh.
Life's been good, but that's close enough for
right.
Joe.
You know, when I see that album cover, for some reason, he looks like Dale Earnhardt to me. With the mustache. Now, I haven't really seen what he looks like in person.
Right.
Back when it was.
Trust me, if Dale Earnhardt were alive today, he would not look like Joe Walsh. There's not many people look like Joe Walsh how he looks today. Trust me.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas. T-Mobile Arena. Streaming live only on Hulu. A weekend full of superstar performances. And keep listening for the next chance to win your way there.
Get your laundry Vegas ready with Arm & Hammer Power Sheets. Just toss in a detergent sheet. No drips, no plastic jugs, no mess. Arm & Hammer is a proud sponsor of the iHeartRadio Music Festival. Clean up before you turn up. Shop Arm & Hammer Power Sheets now.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Stop and go speeds on I-35 northbound, just about a 15-minute slowdown between Onion Creek Parkway over to William Cannon Drive. Looking onto Mopac southbound, seeing a 10-minute backup caused by congestion between Shoreline Drive over to Highway 183. There's also a crash on Lamar Boulevard at West 15th Street. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Hardge here. It's time to buckle up, y'all, and it's back to school season. At Cover Ford Hutto, we know it's not about what you drive, it's about who you drive. Right now, take $9,543 off of MSRP on a new 2025 Ford F-150 Lariat, or $9,500 off of MSRP on a new 2025 Ford Escape ST line. Safe, reliable, ready for the school year. Only at Cover Ford Hutto, right off of 79 in Hutto. CoverFordHutto.com.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Ghost Skeletor World Tour 2025. Ghost Theatrical Heavy Metal Arena Rock. Mariana Rock. August 14th, Moody Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Ghost.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
Guilty, erroneous, sustained.
Are you just saying random words?
Don't settle for just any insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You probably think your 401k is safe, that it's growing, that it'll be enough for your retirement. But what if it's not? Here's the truth. Your 401k was never designed to make you wealthy. It was created in a corporate boardroom to shift retirement costs and investment risk onto you. Designed to keep your money trapped, exposed to Wall Street crashes, inflation, and uncertainty you can't control. Until now. Americans are taking back control by turning to real assets like gold. Noble Gold Investments has helped thousands protect their future by converting part of their retirement savings into physical gold. Talk to Noble Gold today and learn how safe and easy it is to roll your 401k into a tax-advantaged gold IRA without penalties or headaches. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com to get your free wealth protection kit, including a step-by-step guide to get started. That's noblegoldinvestments.com.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Looking for top quality permanent fencing for your home or business? Look no further than Viking Fence. With over 50 years of experience in Central Texas, Viking Fence delivers craftsmanship you can trust. Whether you need wood, iron, or a custom solution, Viking has the perfect fence to fit your needs. What sets Viking Fence apart? They source the finest quality Western red cedar lumber direct from the mill, the most durable and attractive fence material available. Plus, they offer 3 grades of fence pickets to meet every budget. So whether you want Viking to install your fence or you're taking on the project yourself, call Viking Fence today. They pride themselves on excellent work, outstanding service, and an honest reputation. Call 512-601-8911 for a free estimate. That's 512-601-8911. Or visit VikingFence.com/radio. That's VikingFence.com/radio for your free estimate today. When you think fence, think Viking.
It's Bud Light's countdown to kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
"24 days. 24 days. You remember the number 24, Mark? Who was your favorite number 24?
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's got to be Ron McKelvey. The
Get out of
roster
here.
imposter.
Get out of here.
Ron McKelvey, 24 days. Tom Landry wore the number 24.
Oh.
Greg Brown, Sir Rod Walker, Joe Bergeron, Josh Bonnie, Jonathan Brooks.
Jonathan Brooks.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right. And a couple other guys. Ricky Stewart is the current one from Chapel Hill, the freshman, but Jonathan Brooks was the one most recently that had all the love because of his rushing prowess. And hopefully he gets better as we talk a little bit about the NFL. But Ron McKelvey, a named a roster imposter to be able to talk about. Let's get into the NFL because there was some news that came out yesterday by NFL Network that was talking about Micah Parsons. And Micah Parsons, who obviously has requested a trade because he doesn't feel like he's being represented properly by the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry feels like if I talk to you and we agree on something, it's supposed to be that way by trying to backdoor and not get the agents involved. That is the craziest thing about this story. Talking to Micah is not talking to the agent. Talking to Micah is not setting the precedent for the rest of the league. Because you think that you can talk to him on the side, let me talk to you, Micah. I think that you're going to be here, be a Cowboy for a long time, but I want you to take it at this price. Jerry, you know I want to be here. This is what it's all about, man. This is what it's all about. Oh, we got a deal? We got a deal? No, we ain't got no deal. But I want you to hear from NFL Network and the thought process about this whole journey. And now it seems, Cowboy fans, this could be bad for us.
How do you think the Micah Parsons situation plays out in Dallas?
Well, I think 31 teams are trying to figure out how to make it work. I don't think, and I don't know why the holdup. I mean, look, we've seen this from the Cowboys every single season. I can't remember a year since like 2015 with Des Bryant or whatever, like that we have not at least had one like, hey, hold out, hey, last year Dak went up to the opening date. Like that's, remember that he signed on, I believe it was September 8th, which was the first Sunday of the season. So it's not like they aren't used to doing this in Cowboyville. However, I don't think Micah wants to play this game anymore. It doesn't seem like, I don't believe you write something like that publicly if you don't actually believe in it. And I don't know if anyone has more leverage than him right now. So it's going to be interesting. My source and the one I trust the most says that he's unlikely to play for the Cowboys, but I have to have a hard time imagining Jerry letting him out the door.
This is where things get a little testy for me. This is when things get to my I'm not happy point.
When it gets to where it's not about money, but it's about principle. It's about like, am I going to try to keep living this life for the next foreseeable future? No, I'm going to take myself out of this equation.
Yeah.
Like that's what the lady was just saying. She was just saying that this has happened since Des Bryant hadn't played for the Cowboys in 8 years or 10.
But still.
And they're still doing it.
Exactly. And that is where the problem lies. And as a matter of fact, let's just go to the horse's mouth as Jerry Jones decides that he's going to let us know he doesn't think that Micah's going to be at camp any time soon.
Again, your definition of urgent is not necessarily I don't believe you gave a definition.
I didn't.
Okay.
I just asked when does it get urgent.
So I stay urgent.
Okay. Any confidence that he will be on the field against Philadelphia?
Again, no. Absolutely not. That has to. A big part of that is his decision. How would I know that? I'm just saying. No, but I'm urgent.
You're urgent.
It's his decision. It's not his decision. You the one with the money. What is he talking about? Is something wrong with me? Like my ears broken or something? What about this is his problem?
That's what I keep saying.
The only thing that's Micah's issue is Micah is under contract for this 1 year. The next two are options. They still can keep him and just franchise tag him. But they had to pay him the average of the top 5. Don't have a problem with it. But that's still not a guarantee. And football is a game that you need a guarantee because you could get hurt any day.
The risk.
The risk is the biggest thing because They don't get paid like baseball or basketball or soccer. We're a guaranteed deal. You play for us now for the next 3 years at this price. The NFL doesn't do that.
That is why I've had the biggest issue with this whole situation. Jerry knows that you need to go ahead and get this deal done. And like you said, you've been saying it and you continue to say it. If you don't want him there, trade him.
Trade him.
Quit trying to. What is your point? I guess is my biggest thing. What is your point, Jerry, that you are trying to pull? Because of the simple fact, as they said, it may come down to the 11th hour. You're still paying for it. You're still paying him. You're going to give him his money. So what is the holdup? The Dallas Cowboys, if we're going back to the conversation that we had before, and you brought this up numerous times, he wants to be in the middle of a conversation every single day. The Cowboys are going to do that anyway. Sign your player.
Yeah.
Sign your player.
Can we go back? Let's go back to before the draft. And I remember I did a report on the defensive linemen that were coming out in this draft. It was the deepest NFL draft for defensive linemen and outside linebackers.
Right.
In years. There was like 7 or 8 guys that were first-round options. And they all did get picked, by the way. That would have been the perfect time. If you were going to trade him and you didn't want to pay the money, you could have traded. There was a bunch of those teams that had multiple picks. You could have got 2 guys.
Right.
Under rookie deals that could have spelled, I mean, they wouldn't have been Micah Parsons, but at least you would have had the potential to get other guys that could fill the role.
Well, you would have been able to get them under the rookie contract too.
Right.
I mean, if you don't want to pay people and you're trying to hold on, I mean, what are we doing? Like, what are we truly doing right now as Dallas Cowboy fans? Because we're spending more time talking about this than what actually happened in the scrimmage yesterday against the LA Rams where we got abused. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? Yeah, we had some great plays, but the fact of the matter is we're talking about our defense not being able to stop people yesterday in live scrimmage, inter-squad scrim, not inter-squad, but mutual practice, team practices with the LA Rams.
A lot
and
of drop balls, too.
And that's my point. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that instead of spending time talking about Jerry and the fact that I don't think he's going to play in the first game. You need to win. And I'm not saying you guarantee to win if Micah plays, but you need to have all of your people in place if healthy. And him standing on the sideline, Micah and Jerry have not spoke since of the trade demand. Since Micah's penned that letter to the Cowboy fans, they have not spoken.
What do they have to talk about?
They need to figure out what the course of action is going to be.
That's up to Jerry.
But that's the point. Quit being a child about it and go handle the business. Because the deal can be done. They still haven't talked to Mugheletta. Why? That is ridiculous. If this is what did AI say? I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we talking about practice. Why are we not getting this dude on the field so he could come out ready to play for game 1? He could be working. Now they're not working. And now he's frustrated because what do you always say? When people get tired, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, I'm tired of Jerry and the nonsense. Cowboy players, former players, are tired of Jerry and the nonsense. Just handle business the way business is supposed to be done. Either you want to be there or you don't. You want me here or you don't. Just let me know.
It's and we come the principalities now.
Coming up next, we're going to ask about the principalities as Mark Henry brings you his world's strongest tech right here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Heads up for an accident on the service road of 130 southbound around Greg Manor Road. There's also a crash on FM 969 and FM 973. On FM 973, there's a separate accident at Suncrest Road causing some minor slowdowns, and brake taps being caused by a crash at the corner of Palmer Lane and Lamar Boulevard. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
What up, Mario Lopez here? You know, I love me a throwback like the Staples Easy button. It's back and bringing more easy than ever. Custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Plus, next day delivery to over 98% of the U.S. Yeah, Staples, that was easy.
Is credit card debt ruining your life? Did you know you have a right to settle that debt for much less than you owe? DebtBlue has helped people just like you resolve millions of dollars of high-interest credit card debt. They can help with payment relief, the burden of rising inflation, and have a large portion of your debt wiped clean. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, a free 10-minute phone call could save you thousands. Discover how to reduce or completely resolve your credit card debt. In fact, we're so sure that we can reduce your debt that we offer the DebtBlue Success Guarantee. We don't get paid unless your debt gets reduced or resolved, so there's absolutely no risk to call. For your free debt resolution plan, call 800-200-0788. That's 800-200-0788. The call is free. The consultation is free. The more you owe, the more you can save. Call now, 800-200-0788. 800-200-0788.
Hey y'all, I'm Camille McKay.
And I'm Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations.
The old man and I are here to give you your summer weather forecast. It's hot.
That's right, kid.
Which means it's time for pool parties, grilling burgers, and taking a beach vacation, right?
Well, I don't know about a vacation, but Audiovisual brings more heat than any tropical destination.
It was worth a shot. I'll settle for some outdoor speakers.
You know, Audiovisual can do a lot more than that. We provide outdoor video screens, audio systems, landscape lighting, even solar shades for your patio to keep the Texas heat at bay.
Well, I'm sold. Let's wrap this up. I'm ready to lounge on a floaty and listen to some smooth jazz.
Well, that sounds wonderful, but some smooth reggae is the way to go this summer.
Good thing we can listen to both with the Sonos sound system. I call dibs on the floaty, though. Peace out.
Kid, wait a second.
Advanced Dentistry. I've been a patient of his for over 10 years. You can experience a new level of dental care in Austin with Dr. Eckert, where they provide general, cosmetic, and advanced restorative dentistry. And unlike a lot of dentists, they're open on Fridays. Call today to set up an appointment at 512-345-3166 or make an appointment online at dreckert.com. Eckert is spelled U-E-C-K-E-R-T. Again, U-E-C-K-E-R-T, dreckert.com.
You still have 40 million plus vehicles globally that are driving around with a potential ticking time bomb, a grenade in either their steering wheel or their dashboard. When we look to what injuries may have transpired from a defective airbag, we generally see loss of vision in an eye, or we see facial lacerations. We also see hearing loss. Unfortunately, we started seeing death after death after death. When that passenger airbag exploded, it basically degloved his entire face. He lost his nose, he lost his right eye. The type of catastrophic injuries that one is more accustomed to seeing in a Hollywood movie, not something from a device in an automobile that's supposed to protect you. Morgan & Morgan has a national reach in terms of handling and prosecuting cases. Notwithstanding the team of lawyers that we have collected that focus only on product liability day in and day out.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather. Lots of sunshine for your Wednesday, a high of 98. Tonight's low 75. Thursday, partly cloudy, a high of 100.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Your favorite artists?
In your library.
Your favorite songs?
In your playlist.
But your favorite morning show?
You make me laugh every day. Or your favorite team in action.
Oh my goodness, he got it! Or your live local news, traffic, and weather?
Implications from coast to coast.
Yep, there's an app for all that too.
iHeartRadio.
We're not just streaming music, we're streaming moments.
Everyone wants to be here. Join the millions of Americans.
And add us to your entertainment lineup now. Download the #1 app for radio.
The free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, it's Coach Sark. Now back to the morning. The zone.
He's a WWE Hall of Famer. He's also he is Mark Henry, and he can shoot. His world strongest. Take it away,
Hard. Man, you know what time it is? It's time for the world's strongest take of the world's strongest. Because back then they didn't know. But now they're hot. They all on. Guys, the world's strongest take today is brought to you by COVID Beacon. And I'm going to give it to you the way that it needs to be done, and the way that every athlete who's ever played a sport has sat in their locker and they look around with the team that they're on, and you know who the dudes are. There's always dudes on your team. And I'm not talking about just every single guy. I mean the dude. We got here at University of Texas, the head of the dudes, Arch Manning, Colin Simmons, Anthony Hill, Mookie. Like there's a bunch of guys. They're the dudes. Well, guys, Cleveland has dudes. They have Miles, but there's a new dude. And his name is Shadir Sanders. 4th quarterback on the roster. 4th. How do you, this is a question, Hardge. How do you go from 4th quarterback to starting a game in 1 week? I'll tell you how. Because the locker room has spoken. The other dudes on the team are like, what are we doing? The guy's throwing pills all over the field. Highest accuracy rating on the team for quarterbacks. Highest success rate at practice. But he was 4th. The dudes have spoke up and said, listen, he needs to play. We all know he holds court with the wide receivers. All the wide receivers, they're not in the other quarterbacks that's starting locker. They're at his locker. So now they made the announcement yesterday that Shadir Sanders will be starting the preseason game. And I'm going to tell you right now, Hardge, I think they are praying that he goes out and pees the bed. Because that would mean that they're wrong. And how do you, I'm going to ask another question. If you've been mentored by Tom Brady since you were 14 years old, how do you not allow this kid to have the same opportunities as every other quarterback, even though we knew that why he slipped in the draft? And we found out more information of why he slipped in the draft because of the contract that he has and the deal that he made. The league has the profit share with him now. Any team that got him would have to profit share. Signed a hell of a deal. So sneaky, so smart, so good. But he's a dude now. And I think, I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. And this is my take. My take is that Shadir Sanders is going to go out there this weekend. In one half, he's going to play. He's going to score at least 2 touchdowns. He's going to look like the quarterback that he should have been drafted in the top 5 picks. What say you?
Okay, I'm gonna push back a little bit on this, just
Push
because of the fact that the reason why Shedeur Sanders is starting right now is because obviously Joe Flacco is not going to play. He doesn't need to play. He's the experienced quarterback. He's going to be the number one quarterback at the beginning of the season. Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel both dealing with injuries, and Tyler Huntley, which is why they signed Tyler Huntley, is in, and he's been on short rest. So Shedeur is going to get every opportunity. I do agree with you. They are hoping that he pees down his leg, because I look at this situation like Vince Young in Tennessee. I look at it like Colt McCoy in Cleveland, who, by the way, wore number 12, ironically. This situation is bad because I don't feel like the front office, the general manager and the head coach wanted to go and get Shedeur for whatever reason. Now they see him in this camp and they're like, damn, we haven't let him play with the first team at all. And now he's getting all this love. If he goes out and he plays with the first team and he plays well, there will be a firestorm in Cleveland clamoring for Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders, as you said, his teammates, they want to kick it with him. He's doing stuff in the community. He's getting the support of the community. He's doing things
like a starter
in a political way, to get the popular vote. He's getting the popular vote.
There you go.
He's definitely locked in on that. I know, you know, America knows. Dude was good in college. Dude did things that they weren't expecting him to do. But as I told you yesterday, you look at Njoku, and what have we been saying about Arch Manning? Get that tight end involved, you're going to play a lot. That can be your go-to. Get it to the backs, move the ball a little bit. And if he goes out and puts up any kind of positive numbers with no reps with the first string,
12 or 15, 2 touchdowns.
If he does
170
any of
yards.
that, if this team goes out and they move the ball, because let's not forget the Indianapolis Colts, they have their own quarterback situation that they're going through with Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. These guys are going out to try to, number one, you're trying to make a team. Number two, they really want to win these games. They really want to. And Shedeur Sanders, NFL Network, win. They about to get a lot of publicity. The guys that are calling the game tomorrow night, excited about it. This is going to be a spectacle. And can you believe that it's only one preseason game?
It's just a preseason game.
It's a preseason game, and this guy's getting an opportunity to showcase his talents that we all know he has.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it.
You and me both.
Man, this has been a hell of a take today.
I'm excited about this. I'm really excited about this. What else am I excited about? Oh, there's some good things happening on the 40 acres, and the new documentary's out. We'll talk about it. We'll close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The Craig Way Show with Craig Way.
Tex Schramm, you'd hear him on with Brad Sham when we had the show and I was the producer for it, called Ask Tex Schramm. This was like 1987. The football Cardinals were moving to Arizona. Brad Sham is doing the show. And so he asked him, he said, well, does that mean also now there'll be a change that the Atlanta Falcons would move from the NFC West to the NFC East? The Texas response was, well, once you're on an airplane, what difference does it make?
Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
This Saturday, August 9th from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lago Vista High School, Gallery Furniture is giving away 400 twin, full, queen, or king mattresses to Texas Hill Country flood victims. If your home was impacted by the July 4th flooding, come early, first come, first served. You must bring a valid photo ID showing you live in a flood-affected zip code to receive a mattress. No gimmick, no catch. Just a good mattress to help you recover and sleep better every night.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Heads up for an accident on the service road of 130 southbound around Greg Manor Road. There's also a crash on FM 969 and FM 973. On FM 973, there's a separate accident at Suncrest Road causing some minor slowdowns, and brake taps being caused by a crash at the corner of Palmer Lane and Lamar Boulevard. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-973-9714, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9714. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9714 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-9714.
Ice Cube's Big 3 is the surprise hit of the summer. This Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS, with playoff elimination on the line. The most physical, fiercest, and competitive basketball in the world. Miami's Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson must win to make the playoffs, and breakout star Dwight Howard of the LA Riot will battle Gary Payton's Boston squad in a do-or-die match for both teams. 6 teams are alive for 4 spots, and all must win. There's no crying in the Big 3, and the no-holds-barred action starts Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Presented by iHeart.
Hey there, local business owner. Ready to make some more money? Whether you own an auto shop or a dinner spot, Valpak Direct Marketing can help you do just that. All bells and whistles are included, so you advertise when and where it counts to reach new customers that spend more. Measurable results, proven reach, zero guesswork. That's Valpak. Visit valpak.com/advertise to see if you qualify for a free mailing. That's VALPAK.com/advertise. Let's grow.
The 1500 Table Gun Show we've all been waiting for is finally here. This weekend, exercise your Second Amendment rights. The largest gun show in Texas at the Legends Event Center in Bryan College Station. Presented by Texas Gun Shows. This Friday through Sunday only. 1,500 tables. Free parking. You don't want to miss it. Become a VIP Patriot member and get select discounts and early show entry to avoid the lines. It's the largest gun show in the state. For more info, visit gunshowstx.com. Texas Gun Shows. Making gun shows guns again.
Every family matters. Join the Salvation Army's Day of Giving August 20th and help bring shelter and hope to families in crisis. Right now, over 600 parents and children are staying in Salvation Army shelters, and 500 more are waiting. Your gift stays local and it's matched dollar for dollar. Just $25 provides a night of shelter for a child. Call 512-605-1410 or donate now at dayofgivingaustin.org. Together, we can reach our $1 million goal and give families in our community a fresh start.
There's a lot of uncertainty in the world, but one thing's for sure. You need a PC you can rely on. Whether it's for school, gaming, or whatever your next chapter holds, Lenovo.com has the tech to help you succeed. Shop PCs right now at Lenovo.com during their back-to-school sale, where students can save more when they sign up for a Lenovo Education account. Free shipping, easy returns, flexible financing. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. The Longhorns live here.
What a great show we've had right here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 Zone. If you missed any part of it, get over to the podcast page and catch up. Make sure you tune in this afternoon to Craig Way and Parker on the Craig Way Show, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, as they break down more of Coach Sark's interviews and, of course, keep you up to date on all the latest. One of the biggest stories that we have that is out there right now is during SEC Media Day, we had an opportunity to interview Paul Martin. He is the Netflix documentary director and producer of Any Given Saturday, a look across SEC football. I watched 3 episodes yesterday. It's a 7 show episodes, and I am hooked on this. I'm excited about it. Diego Pavia, his story is being told. You saw the situation that happened with Florida and how they started off terrible at the beginning of the year, but then all of a sudden they turned it around and their coach, Billy Napier, gets to keep his job. You got a chance to look at South Carolina and what was going on in South Carolina, how they've gone about things. So if you have not seen the Netflix documentary Any Given Saturday, you are missing out. So when you get a chance, make sure you lock in. Mark, a lot of discussion has been going on about scholarships and the walk-on programs and how they're going away. But last night, there was a moment for one of the last walk-on players to have this special moment with the football team.
How we doing, man? Good. I got a video I want to show you first, and then we'll get into the rest of the meet.
What's up, Longhorns? It's Glenn Powell, fellow Texas alum. I have a newfound respect for what it takes to join a football team. It takes grit, it takes grind, and most importantly, it takes heart. Marshall, your hard work has not gone unnoticed. No. That is why Texas is awarding a scholarship.
When we talk about everybody in this room has a role in this organization, this is the epitome of that, dude. I couldn't be more fired up for you, man. Congratulations.
You know, y'all are part of the biggest reason why I show up every day. Been doing this for 5 years. It doesn't get old. Keep working. This is the dream, man.
Marshall Landwer is a 5th-year walk-on, no more, former walk-on, who was part of the 5-7 football team. He's been a part of the special teams. He's done his part. He's come in and obviously earned the respect of his teammates. Most importantly, earned the respect of Coach Sark. And now he was rewarded with Glenn Powell telling him that he is on full scholarship. We're not going to see very many stories like that moving forward, but for us to be able to see that was amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. I always love those every year.
I was getting chills right there.
Yeah, man. You get guys that they bust their rear end and they sacrifice. Michael Taft was one of those.
Yep.
You know, you get that announcement to all the teammates that, hey, this is our brother. We're accepting him in. He's not on a walk-on anymore. He is a scholarship member of this team.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great moment, and those guys will never forget it.
And to me, that's why Coach Sark and some of these other coaches have been fighting for the walk-on program.
Right.
Think about the walk-on program, and I know people don't lose your mind, folks. Texas A&M, the 12th man. The 12th man was that type of program to where guys' lives were changed. They would do anything to get onto the field. And so much so that they became a 12th man, which obviously has now expanded to so many different parts of it. But it's just those types of moments where
they needed somebody to, and the guy came out of the crowd.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, these things happen because of that. Being able to come to the University of Texas for Michael Taft was always a dream.
Yeah.
He had scholarship offers to smaller schools, military schools, and things like that. But he wanted to be on the Texas Longhorn football team. So he did everything that he could do to be on there. I know we can go all the way back to Rudy and talk about what he wanted to do. All I want to do is play for Notre Dame. Got in, got an opportunity, and here we are. Think about the stories of Mike Leach. Talking RIP Mike Leach, but talking about we need a kicker. So they was having tryouts for kids in the stands to come out and try to kick. Lindsey tried to kick for Mike Leach at one point. So you start to look at these types of deals and you say, man, that is what it's all about. That means you giving up the ultimate sacrifice. You're doing everything you possibly can to help this team, and knowing.
What a great feeling, a great story, though, man.
Right. Like,
So
now
good.
your parents aren't having to pay for food. Your parents aren't having to pay for school. You're not having to pay for school because some of those kids are out there working to get their way through school.
Yeah.
You've seen those stories of guys going to, like the Kurt Warners, going out there and working
Bagging
at grocery
groceries.
stores at the end of the night, stocking after he's done his homework, after he's done the practice, after he's done the workouts. Then he's going to work. Like, people don't understand what some of these guys are doing. So it's always good when you get to share those types of moments. And it's not just happening at the University of Texas.
It's happening everywhere.
But it's a good and great feeling when you get a chance to watch those guys get celebrated. And most importantly, I know those guys are happy, but the teammates were rallying around them.
You heard them.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be better tomorrow. Make sure you tell 5 friends to tell 5 friends that the morning kickoff is on. And we're your home for Texas athletics. For Mark Henry, for Marcus, I'm Hardball Hardge. And just remember this. Don't believe everything you see, because salt looks like sugar. Peace. Hardge here. School's back in session, so let's make sure your ride